Alright, we are live with Rods Mods, and we are at the Monroe Street Circuit. It is the only race this year on the Monroe Street Circuit. The Tier 1 Grand Prix. Gonna have one special winner today. Of course, we also know the robots situation going on. We're gonna try to go as long as we can, even if it has to mean stretching beyond that point. But that's not a problem for today. It's not gonna be a problem for about 4 more weekends. Hopefully spirits are high. Nico's currently racing out in a final in a hydroplane league. Nate Paint's hydroplane league. And I believe we're just going to wait on Steve to get to his car. That'll be a sign that he's ready. Okay, he's in his car. Alright, we're going to turn these lights black. Watch the lights. We're going to use the same format that we used at Sebring. There's drivers with the name of Turbo Stuntman, Steven Waters, and Twin Turbo V6, as well as so many other regulars that'll make up the field today. We're going to turn up the volume of everything. Cars, rev bomb, ready to go green as we set up for the green flag. Here we go! And it's green on the racetrack. Cars out onto the course. Twin Turbo V6 gets the gun. Making our way down the front straightaway. 5-minute timer started. Now, Turbo Stuntman actually managed to come up second place in the last running last year. It was, of course, a big-time survival race. And it's going to be all about avoiding the barriers, having a clean run. Your winner from last year is currently not here. He has commented, so we'll see if he can make a surprise appearance once the time is right. That being said, Twin Turbo V6 makes his way out to the course down the back straight. Makes his way down the hill. This is one of SLC's most historic tracks, being traced back to history, back to 2018, an 8-year running. And we are back again this year. Twin's going to slap the tire barriers again the first lap out. Good thing about this course, there's no track limits. The track limits, quite frankly, is the walls. So as long as you stay clear of those, you should be out for a pretty solid lap time. Of course, it's going to be very difficult, very tight circuit, very wide cars with a lot of power. So these drivers will make their way down, and from the front straight, Twin Turbo V6. First lap out, it is a 1:19.232. That is a fantastic lap time by Twin Turbo V6. Another competitor that we've noticed making his reign lately in the 12 rental, that is Acrimonious Decisions, otherwise known as Brass Rain. They managed to win at the Daytona Road Course. So your last road course winner, he made a huge impact when it came to the last feature. We'll see if he makes something today. Of course, this is one of the most unique tracks that we run. Another temporary track, of course, is Hoosier, otherwise formerly Yorkshire Speedway. The Roval part of it, which actually uses the same style of barriers. I would say, though, this is the first proper track, and we got a pack race here for the second on-track position. Of course, this being a road course group qualifying, we use pack lead rules. That means that Twin Turbo V6 is technically your leader. Qualifying will be determined whether or not he manages to cross the start-finish line with enough time for another lap or not. Huge lag spike on my end, my apologies. And looks like Twin made a small mistake. Acrimonious Decisions, Brass Rain makes his way up the hill across the front straight. Probably one of the most unique turns that we do. And he will snag quick time by a single thousandth of a second over Twin Turbo V6. It is incredibly close there for a pole position. Of course, there's still just about enough time for 2 more laps. We got a car dead in the water off on the inner hairpin. And if you're there in the pits, you're clear to go. So you can go, dude. If you are, yeah, you could go. Let's see who that was. Got a car that is currently stopped up after kind of like the inner city portion. And that is Steve Waters' car. He's currently not in game. So must have had some form of disconnection, either outside of his control. Could have been something relating to personal issues. We'll figure that out later. Meanwhile, Twin Turbo V6 still is your practical, technical pack leader. Makes its way across the front straight. It's not going to go any faster. And this is the white flag. So once you guys hit the when you cross the start-finish line, you'll be on your final lap at Twin, or if Brass Rain passes you, it's looking kind of close here, then it'll also be your final lap. Otherwise, as long as you're just finishing up your lap here, you're good for another one. But Twin on his final lap, he just has to go a single thousandth quicker than Acrimonious. That's 0.02 of a second faster to ensure a pole position. It's going to be very close. Both those times are very, very good times overall. We do see a green sector 1 from Brass Rain. So we make our way now up the hill. You know, a lot of the turns of this track, that is the slowest turn on the course. Very technical. They can make or break your lap. Twin has a purple sector 2, but he might have slapped that beer. It's hard to tell. Makes his way down into the last braking zone, right by the paddocks. Down the front straightaway, Twin Turbo V6 got a purple sector 2. Can he go quick enough to take pole position? Down the front straightaway, yes he does! And Brass Rain improved, but not enough to take it. An incredible qualifying run by both these guys. Dabcat takes Turbo Stuntman, again, your podium sitter from last year, back to 4th. So that is a DGS 3 and 4. Good job, guys. Once you guys are through, just make your way up to the... just make your way up to the last braking zone. Oh, Steve's here. Okay. And just park your cars. We'll probably park them sideways or something of that nature. Just finish up your laps, please. And, got our 4 leaders just making their way through the course. I'm pretty sure everyone by now has made it, so I'm going to turn those lights red. We're not going to stop in the area we line up for qualifying. We'll be moving up to the last braking zone, so. We are setting ourselves up for the Cheerwine Grand Prix, our North Carolina special event. And 2 historical events kind of merge into one here, so let's just line it up here. If you guys can line up at like a kind of diagonal angle, your pole sitter will be Twin Turbo V6. Brass Rain up there in 2nd place, 3rd place, Dabcat, 4th place. Representing DGS in the 26 today, making a special run, yearly run that we see. It is Turbo Stuntman. If we could line up a little bit more properly here, kind of make a little bit of space. 5th place, that's Squid Game Lover. I think that is that's BG. So the Napa car representing NH Motorsports, a 77 of Cool Mats. Matt's Watts will be up in 6th place. 7th place is going to be Matt. I think it just goes by Matt now. He dropped the Farms part. So, formerly Matt Farms, taking up a rental potentially. We'll see if he joins in here. We're going to have Nico's car set up in case he does manage to make it. He's going to have till lap 3 once a green flag goes to do so. And Steve is still making his way over. Alright, so Matt, I believe, has pulled off, but we're also going to leave his car in position just in case he changes his mind. I believe we could probably clear out the rest of the cars. So Nico currently out racing a hydroplane league, so we wish him the best of luck with that. And Jake, you do not want to field a car, right?
No.
Okay. Alright, so 7 entries going to start so far. We're slowly clearing out the field. We'll be deleting a good chunk. That should help a lot with lag. I do notice when you guys go up a hill, there's a bit of a lag from just the amount of cars that there are. Do you want to be a pace car, or what's the plan?
No, you can delete this.
Okay. Want me to delete the flag ban?
Sure.
Okay. We're just gonna... It's a big map, as you can see. So... I think the end of it's pretty soon. Yeah. Stream is up, of course, on race announcements if you guys want to see any replays of anything. Gonna throw that Corvette off the map. That was, of course, I believe, made by either Dabcat or Ace. I'd like to say to Ace, if unlikely you're watching, but if you're watching, of course, happy 21st birthday. Be responsible. Alright, let's turn off our engines so we could proceed with the anthem. If you cannot, just hop out. That's also, of course, part of the AFK check. There's going to be 2 pace laps. And we're going to proceed with the anthem very shortly. All right.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, drivers, to your cars. Once you're ready, start your motors. Roaring Sympathies celebratory V8 revving, presented by the Rods Mods. Now, to note, this race does have a podium, so your top 3 will have a podium to tend to once this is over. Winning car will be lined up on the podium. So, we're currently waiting on Dabcat. Again, pace speed is single file pacing today. Pace speed overall is just to keep a moderate pace. Do not pass car review until you cross the start-finish line, as usual. So. We are leaving Nico a few laps. Hopefully he'll be ready. We're still just waiting on Dabcat. So. No problem. Well, I guess while we're here, let's get your order from the back to the front. Some music, 1 second. From the back to the front, currently today, one short to the race in the 15, it is Matt. He was planned for 8th place, but currently in the Ricky Bobby number 7 scheme, the Wonder Boy himself, Stephen Waters, take up 7th place in today's field. The 77 Carson Hocevar Tribute car driven today in 6th place by Matt Watts. Now representing NH Motorsports as well in the 36, it is BG in the 36 Napa Auto Racing Machine. 2 GGS cars in the field. The first one in 4th place, taking out the 26. It is Turbo Stuntman, your podium finisher from last year's Tier 1 Grand Prix. Now in 3rd place, the 054 GGS car, that white, purple, and orange machine driven by Dadcat 145. Watch for the 054. It's going to be something to watch here today. 2 incredibly close cars up for pole, and it was just decided in the final lap. Taking up 2nd place today in the rental 12, it is your hard-hitting rookie, the main upsetter of the series, Grass Rain. Your pole sitter is the GOAT himself, the 32 twin turbo V6. That being said, everyone is in their cars. We are set for a 20-lap race. We're going to have 2 pace laps. That being said, going with the car review goes, we are yellow on the track. Cars make their way up the front straight. And it is a 7-car field. Now, the Monroe Street Circuit is a very, very unique track. It is the only true street circuit on the schedule. That's going to be a bit of an issue for Dabcat, but everyone has probably been aware of this by this point. This is a very technical, very tricky track. It's really just going to be all about staying out of trouble here today. Last year's race actually got to the point where even Jackson Cook had enough with it, pulled off the track from a solid 4th place finish, and that made his championship a little bit harder to get to, just a little. But that being said, it's going to be a race of survival, a track and style of racing very similar that we'll probably see at tracks like Track Loans. If you've ever raced at the Patriot Grand Prix, the Spigonite Grand Prix on the road course Rosamond feature, it is all about endurance and patience. It is a true test of your patience. And we got Steve Waters with some trouble, claims to go AFK, so we'll change his laps to 1 if he can get out of it. It's going to be a long race, most likely a solid points race for anyone that manages to stick around to the end. And of course, with the points battle getting potentially closed off early, that could really make an impact. It's very close here in the Rotsmont standings. Your current points leader, I believe, Evan Varney. We'll be checking that real quickly here. We got 1 more pace lap. I'm going to check the spreadsheet, check the points, but we are closing into the start. Just trying to open up the standings real quickly. Alright, so let's, once we go down the hill, I'd like for you guys to say at 60 miles an hour. Alright, so current standings, it is Nature Channel, and one thing to note, we do not have a Nature Channel today. There is several other cars in it, though. There's, in the points battle, Dabcat, Twin Turbo V6, Evan Varney, Indy Clouds, all within 5 points. Of course, we do not see Nico, we do not see Evan Varney today, but one of these guys is most likely going to be able to catch up as soon as this race is done with. Steve is rejoining the field. He changes laps to -1. Just so that's settled. Cars are making their way out, closing onto the front straight. Again, do not pass until you cross the start-finish line. Making our way now up to the last set of turns here. Light is going to turn green shortly. Hopefully Stephen Waters can make it up in time, as it's a little bit of a jump up in the back of the field. Green flag comes on. Alright, we are green on the racetrack, coming up to turn number 1. Twin Turbo V6 with an awesome start. Not so much on Turbo Stuntman. He is being closed right behind by BG. Steve Waters, unfortunately a little bit late to the show, is going to have to just kind of deal with it. Hopefully, if he could get any cautions, that'll be to his benefit. Of course, the survival race is what it is for today. So it's all about longevity, all about patience in dealing with problems as they come along. And so far, it's actually pretty clean compared to last year. A lot of cars are having issues in the last running. Of course, that kind of came as a consequence of lack of practice. Twin Turbo V6, as it stands, though, is your current leader. We'll be resetting that timing board. Make sure all the times that come up are legitimate. But so far, it is Twin Turbo V6, Acrimonious Brass Rain, second place, Dabcat in third, right behind him fourth is Turbo Stuntman, fifth place BG. And I think BG had a little bit of an inning with the barriers for a second, but they are okay. Behind that is Matt's Waters. Matt's is a bit of an oval guy. He did pretty good on some of the midget races. Of course, this is a bit of a completely different environment, so we'll be watching them closely. And still no sign of Nico. We'll be standing by his car to teleport him in case. Nico is certainly one of the guys that want to be in this one, so one of the old-time SLC drivers. Currently only one that has been around since UD days, and he makes his special feature today. That, of course, is Turbo Stuntman, running in fourth place as of now. He's one of the guys that has been on this track since the beginning. So, we are glad to see Turbo back again for today's feature. Now, the battle for the lead could be cooking up here. It all depends if Brass Ring can capitalize on any of the mistakes that Twin makes, but Twin is not a driver that makes a lot of mistakes. So it's going to be a tough one. All about getting these lines perfect. Again, this track is akin to something like Long Beach, something like the Chicago Street Circuit. Very unorthodox race that we do here. It's going to be about getting these lines perfectly. Looks like the field is a bit spread out. Lap 2 is up in the books. And we're going to call this a Cheer 1 Grand Prix. Looks like I have a couple of spectators who's joined. Glad to see you guys in the show. Enjoy the racing. Looks like everyone makes it by pretty cleanly so far. How's Turbo Stuntman doing? Of course, he ran and got a podium last year. He's only one spot short of that. Kind of just needs to be in the right place for it. And there's still technically time for Nico to run, but I think it might just be just a little bit too late here. Twin makes his way now by and through the paddocks. Up into the last braking zone and up the hill on the front straight. And that will be it for any chances of Nicholas or Matt possibly rejoining for points. We're clearing the cars once we find enough of an available gap. Let's see if I can find a good image of the tracks and get the names of the turns correctly. A lot of things to say about this track. I mean, it's overall been a event that's been around since pretty much the beginning, at least as a track. It's never been the Cheerwine Grand Prix until we ran it last year. Of course, the Cheerwine Grand Prix was a pretty big deal back in the day. We had the closest race in SLC history, and that was the race finished between A Games 110 and, of course, yours truly, Twin Turbo V6. Currently holds the lead. Could be going for another Cheerwine race to win. Looks like the gap for the lead might be closing down to purple sector 2 for Brass Rain. We'll be watching those sectors and gaps as they make their way across the start-finish line. 1:17.919 set by Brass Rain, an incredible time. Cuts down the gap to just a second here. Steve Waters has actually made the way by from Matt's want. Let's see what goes on for the lead. It is closing down only about 5 car lengths at points. Big lag. But we're good. Down the straight into the sweeper. This turn is about a third, maybe fourth gear turn if you take it right. One of the drivers, Dabcat, has said it might be possible. And if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be any of these two guys. That gap for the lead closing down. Brass Rain just getting ever so slightly closer to Twin Turbo V6. Wall to wall. Twin hits the outside wall. It's going to keep speed as much as it can. That gap is visibly shrinking, only about 2 or 3 car lengths. Here comes Brass Rain down the hill to turn 1, from 1 to 2. Who gets the better exit? It's about the same for these guys. Into 3 and 4 down the hill. Very technical, sharp turn. All about keeping it out of that wall. Turn 5 comes around into 6, and it's about making that square into a circle. Both of them seem to be pretty good at that. 7's out through. Our third gear turn, and this is about the fastest turn that you brake for. Turn 9, the sharpest turn. Does Twin do it right? It looks like a really good line by Twin. So Twin must be kicking up the afterburners. That gap looks like it's building up a little bit once again to 32. Could be in a battle for it all. Purple sector 2 for Twin. Can he go for a quick time? Twin down the front straight. 1:17.796. So he's going to fight back and extend that lead back up to a second. And what an incredible lap that was for the 3214 race machine. Might be closing into our first lap car pretty soon. That could have been a lag spike. But the 77 of Matt's Watts, as long as there's a caution, he'll get a lap back. Gonna be a little tough on these road course style tracks. Yeah, and one of the big things with the road course races is, unlike the ovals, we do not do spin caution, so it's kind of you're on your own if you get to a rough situation like that. Boy, Twin is making up that gap a lot. Must have got a little bit scared once he took down that gap to about 3/10. There's the Carson Hocevar tribute car driven by Matt Watts. The leader's riding right behind him. Into the braking zone off of turn 1. Your leader's closing again to the 77, and almost looks like Twin got into a bit of a drift. I don't know if that was intentional. Kind of looked like that scrubbed a little bit of speed. Not bad. And the 77's going to get loose. Twin Turbo V6 makes his way by. I mean, you know, this track in a lot of ways, I've said it's like Long Beach. It's almost like Monaco. The cars get spread out. They get so close to passing, but it's all, you know, I mean, I guess you don't need to worry about the space issues that you get at Monaco in real life. So, but it's just a very technical looking track, especially this turn. I mean, that turn 9, absolutely the hardest turn of the track, but Twin manages to do a great job of it. And he will manage just to stay that much ahead. Just a slight wall tap for Twin. But it looks like the gap is kind of relaxed a little bit of a wall tap once again, but still carrying speed. We're going to watch how Dabcat is doing. He's currently running it in 3rd place with a fair bit of comfort for his teammate, his temporary teammate for the weekend. Of course, Turbo Stuntman, one of the legends himself. I can recall the race that Turbo won at Bristol. As looks like Dabcat's going to do a bit of a loop around. Possibly intentionally, just to make something more exciting. Now he's on camera. He says, "Mom, look, I'm on camera," and loops it. Right. Your gap for the lead is still very close here between Twin Turbo V6 and Brass Rain. But it looks like Twin has just kicked that much more of a gap. They got to give it their all. Pretty soon here we'll be about halfway done with today's race. What could possibly, if things go unfortunate, could be the last Sherwine Grand Prix, given how Roblox updates have been going. We'll see. You know, we want to run these races. We love them. I love this track. I think it's one of the best tracks we have. But we'll see what the future lies ahead for us. It's been in the air. Twin Turbo sits across the start-finish line, and that time by Brass Rain has taken down the gap just by half a second early. These two kind of going back and forth when it comes to their gaps. It's just a complete chase between these two. Time by Twin as a slightly faster sector 1, 2/10 the difference, so it's really hard to be consistent on a track like this. Even though we saw how the qualifying looked at one point, a single thousand separated these two, they had to make it up on the final lap. They've stretched it up even more with that 117. It's going to be very difficult for these guys to reach that. I can't even imagine myself getting anywhere close to that. I struggle with 119s here. So these two are some top caliber drivers. Across the line for Twin, and that is a good little bit made up, but that's Sector 3, purple for Brass Rain. Good job by the Rental 12. That might be his job to close in the gap once again, just a little bit more. and we'll see if it closes down any. There's Ricky Bobby up ahead. Ricky Steve in the 7 car. There's a Wonder Bread machine. And here comes Twin to make his way to put him a lap down. I absolutely love the schemes that Steve Waters puts up every weekend. He's just got like a new car every time. And, you know, I got to give him the points for the creativity. We saw the Dale Earnhardt Tribute car, and it looks like a little bit of an issue for Steve. But I love the Dale Earnhardt car that he ran last time, and as well as the Greg Biffle car, and as well as the Mark Ambrose machine. Well, we are halfway done with the race, and this time by, it'll mark 9 laps to go. And that is a green sector 1 and 2 for Brass Rain, but that last sector looked a little rough, but he will take quick time once again. It is quick time after quick time for these drivers. 117.610. Both of them giving it their absolute all here. Here comes Brass Rain down to turn that gap into just a car length. I mean, both these guys just really are truly giving it their all just to keep up with each other. I mean, they are the star of the show today. It is a battle for the lead. It is a hunt at the front of the field. And we love races like that. There might not be a lot of action on the rest of the track, but by far, the battle for the lead here has been just insane. I mean, just both these guys are top caliber drivers when it comes to robots racing. Brass Rain is a new guy, but for whatever reason, just kind of got at the get-go and won his first race that he ever entered. I don't even remember the last time we saw something like that. Here goes Twin to the Bears, so does Brass Rain. Neither one of them able to capitalize on that mistake. But the remaining gap between these two is extremely close. Looks like BG might be the next car to fall lap down here. Again, just one of the usual aspects of a long road course race. It's all about making it to the end. Twin Turbo V sits with this points race. He has pole. He does not have quick time, but that would be 22 points as of now. Those 22 points would just about put him up tied with Nature Channel. If he managed to get that extra point, he would be tied. So there's a lot of points for the 32 to make up today. Potentially snag another championship if the season ends early. And something has happened to Dabcat. We'll figure that out post-race. But it looks like he has fallen back from 3rd place, now currently in 4th place, at risk of falling a lap down. That is going to give Turbo Stuntman another podium here if it stays that way. So something big happened to the 54. We are watching the battle at the front of the field. Here comes your leaders, making their way by the Napa NH Motorsports machine. It is now Dabcat. He was formerly running in 3rd up until around the halfway point. Something big happened, and we're not sure. It could have been something, maybe he had to park his car. But here comes Twin to make his way behind the 054. Side by side to take that 4th place car a lap down. And Twin will just narrowly get ahead. And Twin has solidified that spot. Now it is Brass Rain's turn to make his way by the 54. Perhaps Dabcat now gets a front row view of the lead. The battle for the lead going on here. And Twin hits that wall almost in the perfect, almost in the perfect way. But a very tight-knit battle here for the lead. Twin manages 2/10 ahead that last time. It was 117.933, so Twin kicking out some very fast laps and gets a slide off of 2. Again, Twin has a victory at the Cheerwine Grand Prix in 2022. I believe that was Simmer Errors. We'll be reviewing that one soon. Depending on how this race goes, we'll probably review that. But again, a battle for the lead. About to rage on. Twin hitting the outside wall, coming down the hill. Manages to keep his speed going, but boy, that looked a little rough. He's a man that makes the most even out of small mistakes like that, so he's still at the front of Brass Rain, narrowly behind. Here comes Turbo Stuntman. We might see a battle for third cook up once again. Dabcat is just behind your leaders, and Turbo Stuntman remains just slightly ahead. Now that's your third place car, could fall a lap down. As we go into 5 laps to go, so the last quarter of the race is upon us. And we got your leaders sandwiched between 3rd and 4th place. Just absolutely insane chase for the front of the field here. Brass Rain hasn't managed to get it done yet, but I mean, every lap he's just right behind Twin, managing to keep pace. It's been incredibly close between these two. Here comes the 26. Your leader's right behind him. Makes his way by to the braking zone to put him a lap down. We also see the Carson host of our car of Matt Watts. Now your race won't be over until you fall 3 laps down. Oh, big lag spike. We're good. And that will potentially be your leaders getting away from now Turbo Stuntman. Dabcat just behind. He might be able to make up the gap and battle with his teammate for third place to the end of the race, but we'll see. It's just about a turn behind. Matt Watts, potentially the next car to fall a lap down to these chasing leaders. There's currently 4 to go, and Twin makes a bit of a mistake. Here comes Brass Rain, side by side for the lead. Brass Rain's going to come up into turn 3, but Twin is still on his inside. They drive right through each other. Brass Rain has taken the lead at the Cheerwine Grand Prix. It has been such a long effort throughout the entire race. He just has to hold off a very, very fast Canadian rock right behind him. Again, the go of the Rotsmods. Here comes Twin, bumper to bumper with the lap car, making the way down the hill into the sweeper of turn 8. Twin's going to get back that lead. Brass Rain still side by side. Turn 9, this is a hard one. Brass Rain with an inner line. He's going to carry a little bit more speed out of that exit. He will take the lead once again from Twin Turbo V6. Turn 10. Twin brakes a little bit later, carries more speed. Matt Swan spinning in the background. And it is bumper to bumper for the lead. Now goes side by side up the front stretch. Across the start-finish line. It is within 1/10 of a second the gap for the lead. I got a lot of rubber banding, so it's difficult to see what's going on, but Twin Turbo V6 looks like he has come back up in front from turn 1 and 2. A small wall tap for Twin, but same thing for Brass Rain. How about the battle for third? It looks like Dabcat has made his way back ahead. We're going to switch back to the battle for the lead. So Dabcat gets back up to third place. 3 laps to go, and we had a heck of a dogfight there for a moment. Twin going to give it his all here. And it's a beautiful slide. Trail breaks through turn 9. You see now the sector 2 looks at. Pretty awesome. Oh, but he's going to hit the Twin's going to hit turn 10. Just on the outside, still keeping his lead. That was a big mistake. Manages to keep his speed going. Now 2 laps to go. This is the most critical point of the race here. It is a tail chase for the lead. Half a second currently dividing between Twin and Brass Rain. Any major mistakes here can easily change the impact of how it goes. We got a lag spike. Good. Twin Turbo V6 currently staying just ahead of the 12 machine by an inch. Really a couple car lengths, but I mean, just they've been so close today. The battle for the lead has been incredible. We make our way into turn 9 again. One of those very difficult turns we saw last time by. Twin's going to take a more conservative line. Try not to copy that mistake they made on this turn last time by. Turn 11 now for Twin Turbo V6. This time by, the white flag is going to come out. Once you guys cross the start-finish line, your white flag is out. So 1 more to go for Twin Turbo V6. Brass Rain just under a second behind. If he can capitalize on any mistakes that Twin makes here, it could be the move that gives Brass Rain his first Tier 1 Grand Prix win. Twin Turbo V6 could be going for another one in the books. Make our way into turn 5. And it's a good line by Twin. We're going to switch to a free cam. Watch this one. Making our way down the hill. To the braking point. That is Stephen Waters about to fall another lap down here. Here's your leaders making their way up the hill off of turn 9. Both of them get through nice and easy. Only 2 more braking points to go. They both need to nail it. We saw Twin make a mistake a couple laps ago. Twin Turbo V6 is clear of it. It is close. It is very close, but Twin Turbo V6 makes his way onto the final turn. Is he clear? Looks like a good exit. Brass Rain right behind. Coming down the front straightaway. Your race winner is going to be Twin Turbo V6. Brass Rain comes up in second place. Stephen Waters makes it up and finishes the race, I believe, in 6th. Now going to watch from the start-finish line, see how things are going. We saw Dabcat and Turbo Stuntman. Can something switch around for Turbo? Does not look like the case. Dabcat makes his way across the start-finish line just ahead of his teammate. So Dabcat finishes at P3, Turbo Stuntman, and narrow P4, but a valiant effort today. I believe we are down to the last few cars. So you guys can make your way to the paddocks area. Alright, so here's 5th place, I believe. That is BG, finishing ahead of Matt Watts in 7th place. So that is your race, an incredible battle for the lead. But it manages to come to the legend himself, Twin Turbo V6. Manages to snag another Tier 1 Grand Prix. Awesome job by everyone today. That being said, Brass Rain does manage to take away the quick time. So, Twin, if you want to do anything, your victory lane will be right up here. Oh, I just stole a bottle. Oh, there's plenty more. I should probably raise that podium a little more, to be honest. Alright, if we could get Brass Rain and Dabcat to the podium, you'll be standing up there. There's trophies to take home. We will get interviews with everyone that sticks around. And again, thanks everyone for making today's race as good as it was. I would say this is a lot better than last year's running. I am satisfied with how today's race went. Might have had a smaller field, but, you know, 7 cars with an exciting race finish like that, I think all wraps up to make it worth it. So a big thanks to everyone for today's race, and congratulations to Twin Turbo V6, who manages to get another one. We're going to review an old plane of the Cheerwine 100, as it was originally named. And I will be playing the Canadian anthem shortly. Of course, we just want to get everyone settled up. Dab, I got a bottle of Cheerwine for you. Here. Your bottle of Cheerwine. We're just gonna review something real quickly here to see if this is Twin's second or third Cheerwine win. Last year's winner, Nature Channel, did not show up today. That is going to close down the gap for the lead. Twin falls 1 point behind the points lead this time by. Now, this can make... If the championship ends early, that can make things very interesting in the following races. We're just checking things real quickly. Second annual. We used to ran at a fictional track called Angeles. That was, of course, ran by Austin Dunn. We're going to look at, see who finished where in that running. And that was actually one. Let's see, we see Lemon at Victory Lane. Did Lemon Bucket manage to win here? If so, that would mean this is Twins' second winning of a Cheerwine event, the first winning of the Cheerwine Grand Prix. Yeah, so Lemon Bucket that won the second time. So, that being said, if we could get Brass Rain up onto the podium, we'll do the Canadian National Anthem, and then so let's do so. We're gonna do it with the voice chat, and then we'll get our interviews. Give it out to your race winner. Twin Turbo V6 wins it once again at the Cheerwine Grand Prix. His second ever winning, and he is the only driver in SLC that has won a Cheerwine event on an oval and a road course. So we got to give it out to Twin here, as we'll play the Canadian National Anthem. All right, well, congratulations to Twin Turbo V6. We are going to start interviews. All right, so Twin here coming up with an incredible battle. Just barely managed to get it done. So I got to say, that was a close race between you and Brass Rain. What happened in today's race, Twin?
Sorry, let me turn off. Honestly, this was definitely not what I was expecting. I mean, I wasn't sure if Brass Ring was going to show up or not. I was kind of expecting Nature Channel to show up and maybe have something like this, but yeah, this was definitely a lot closer than I thought. Like me and Rain were pretty much nose to tail all race long, and yeah, I mean, it's just fun. Um, I was just kind of enjoying the race for the most part. I didn't want to push too hard because I knew I'd probably end up doing too many mistakes. Like I had quite a few mistakes for a race that I would, usually try to push a little bit harder considering the situation on. But yeah, honestly, still pretty fun. I mean, the cars, I will admit, aren't the best for this road course. They're like 3 meters wide, so like you have to be very precise with these cars. Um, so there is that, but honestly, I think that's what makes it all the more interesting. Just having oval-based cars for a road course. I think that's what makes it a lot more entertaining. It's just having that little bit of uncertainty with these cars, and that's what caused this battle to happen, I would presume. So yeah, honestly, congrats to Rain though. I've pretty much been congratulating him in the DMs for like the past 5 minutes. But yeah, honestly, I've been impressed with him this season. So yeah, congrats to him for sure.
All right. Well, one thing to note, the points battle has been closed down very close. And of course, with the uncertain future of SLC, it might end in 3 more races if we cannot manage to get fields coming up in the next races post update. So we could potentially see a very close battle for the championship. Is that something you might be interested in doing now that you're kind of in position?
Yeah, um, kind of want to have a comeback story, I guess. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Went on vacation 1 season and went back to absolute domination.
Pretty much. That was kind of like what half of 2022 as well. So
And then
it was
I think he
23. I
still
don't.
managed to get the championship.
It was close. I think it was against Eris during those days.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also a very fast driver.
that's true. Well, Twin, it looks like we had a great race today, and you, again, as I said, are the only driver that's ever won a Cheerwine event multiple times and on an oval and a road course. So that is something I think is pretty cool. You managed to actually win on one of the few original tracks at SLC Ramp before we did chassis racing. So I'd say it's a pretty good thing to put on your resume after this race. Uh,
Well, it helps I've been playing this game since 2018. Like
yeah,
this game that we're in, not Roblox.
that's
So
true.
go. I know these streets.
I played these games before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you your trophy here. And thank you, Twin, for putting up a great show today. I'm glad that we had an awesome battle for the lead. So that was great to see.
Yeah.
Probably,
That was really fun.
probably one of the more exciting times I've said Twin has won.
Yeah. It's only fun when I win when there's a battle, not by 30 seconds.
I think that was kind of how it was the last time that you ran. I think on Turimo. I don't know, but
Yeah. I don't know.
uh, is there anything else you want to say before we move on to the next race? I mean, next racer.
Uh, I will say the cars are kind of goofy under braking. uh, like there's a lot of times where I'm just like, I don't know if it's the track. I feel like it might just be the track grip, but there's a lot of times where it's like the cars just turn in, no issue at all. And then there's other times where I'm like just locking up, especially at slower speeds. Um,
I believe there is variable grip on the track. Like some of the
yeah,
surfaces are looser than others,
yeah, that's what I thought.
which I think is
It
part
was
of the
just, it was kind of weird.
yeah.
I got used to it by the end, but like, yeah, it's definitely interesting. It kind of felt like a damp track almost in some spots. Like, you know how like the weather is like wet on one side and dry on the other. That's kind of what it like. It's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, it is pretty
Well, that's
muggy out
clear up.
here in Monroe, North Carolina. I believe the weather is like 80 degrees right now, so with like 80%
Yeah.
humidity. So nothing uncharacteristic. Thank you for coming by again to make an awesome race, Twin.
Yeah,
We're
of
gonna move
course.
on to the second place car. Let's see if we can unmute you. We've been trying for a few weeks. If not, we still have the chat. Are you trying to speak? Try to say 1, 2, 3. Still mic issues. Do I have him muted or something? Like, no? Yeah, I can't really hear you, Brass Rain. Once again, it is detecting your mic, but I still cannot hear you speak, bro. I don't know what it is. You might have to reinstall Discord or something. Uh, I guess we could do another chat interview. 30 seconds. Okay. All right. Well, Brass Rain put up an incredible show today with Twin Turbo V6. Both these guys look like very dominant drivers. I've been curious to see what they do against each other in a proper environment. It looks like we got that today. Uh, Actually, checking the last time that we had these two competing, that was at Richmond. It was pretty close, but Twin managed to get it overall. He did manage to get quick time, Brass Rain. This is the first time we've seen them on a road course against each other, and it looks like Twin just barely comes up on top, but these two are pretty much about even. So, that's pretty good to hear. I still don't hear you, but I'll just wait. All right. Well, yeah, it's been an incredible race between you and Twin. I know you just came up just short today. You had moments where you fought back, you took the lead, and quite legitimately you took the lead. It was a green race. What happened in today's race for you from qualifying to checkered? I was hyper focused on him too much, and by the way, we're reading for Brass Rain. I forgot my own line. When I started sticking to what I knew, I ran the 17.4. But it was hard keeping that in the middle of an intense race. But hey, know I have a good one lap pace. I just need to not focus so much on the front. Enjoying that tier one. Good race, though sad to see the league probably dying. Well, what we might do is settle. We might still try to do what we can. I might try to see if it's possible to get people like alt accounts or something, or like age verified. I'm still gonna try to figure out a solution when I can. But something we might do is the minimum driver count might go from 6 to 4, just to ensure. Yeah. Uh, then if things run good at the end, I mean, maybe we might still keep going. Yeah. Kind of. I mean, it could have. It was looking pretty good at one point. It was kind of dying. It was kind of resurging. The Rotsmods were doing a resurgence, honestly, but um, we'll see. The Rotsmods will not be dead with row racing. That's something I will confirm. Is if we cannot do it here, we're gonna get mesh Rotsmods and we will run them in a set of course. So we'll try to figure that out. That's a future me problem, but overall, good job on making the podium today. I'm going to give you your trophy. There you go. All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to Dabcat? All right. Well, look at their Brass Rain. Put up a hell of a show today. So I got to congratulate you on holding up to twin as well as you did. Up next takes home some cheer wine and a trophy. I think cheer wine might be the better of the two, if you ask me. Dabcat here had a little bit of a back and forth race. We saw you have some sort of issue at some point, and I'm kind of curious about what went on there.
So let's start from the beginning. I had a pretty good lead over Turbo, and I think it got up to roughly 20 seconds at one point. And when you were talking about the fact that cautions were different, and that if you were to spin, you would not get a caution, was ironically the same time I had a big mishap, and it was my first spin. Then a couple of laps after that, roughly around lap 15, I overshot turn 9 and had a really bad turnaround. It was, I couldn't get the thing to turn around and rotate, and so it kind of ended up the way it did. I did also have a lot, it kind of came back after the race. A restart might have, like a server restart might have been nice, but I mean, hindsight 2020. I was kind of having some lag spots here that I don't normally have when I'm racing SLC, but other than that, I had a really good fight trying to catch back up to Turbo, and then Turbo spun along with, I believe, Matt. I can't remember off the top of my head. They both hit the very, very last 90 degree, and they spun, and I overtook them, and it was kind of there from on out. Turbo was still pretty close, I will admit. Turbo was still pretty close after that. He was still roughly 5 seconds behind me, from what I remember. So it wasn't a no diff, and that was the best part about that. It is my first SLC Monroe race, which is very nice. There might have been, a temporary couple of races that I've had beforehand, but this is my legit one, especially the first one with the Rocks mods. Again, I'm probably the most biased person against the Rocks mods, but other people like the Rocks mods. I'm not gonna be that kind of guy. And Rocks mods will be going to Assetto to point that out. As will I be eventually going over to Assetto myself if Roblox goes to crap. Got a couple of final plans for send-offs on Roblox before I move away and see how it goes. Granted, that all hinges on a couple of things. Speaking of Rocks mods, and honestly, this is insanely important. If you're in the main area and you want to go see Rocks mods IRL, on May 2nd, the Wheeling Modifieds are coming up into Oxford on the Oxford Plain Speedway. Big advertisement, I know, because I'm going to buy myself a ticket and see them. It'll be really nice to see. It's going to be pretty jam-packed from what I know. And other than that, it'll be nice to kind of see how that goes. Race, again, was great. Hope to see more SLC stuff. I would, and I am kind of excited to see it go over to Assetto just as much as I am excited to hear the possibility that it might stay around. If we go over to Assetto to address my big elephant in the room, Outlaw Carts will unfortunately be discontinued, but that is just because Assetto is a whole nother ball game and is not nearly quite as simple for my little noggin to build cars for. Oxford also will be a track that is still continued under development for that same reason. I will try and build an Oxford for Assetto because, again, big local, want to get Oxford in for Assetto because that would be something really nice to see. But Other than that, I'll let some of these patient and also eager other interviewers come through and enjoy my cheer wine and my pasta because I'm hungry and I haven't had dinner yet.
All right, well, that's great to hear, Dab Cat. I have given you your trophy, and your wine, I hope. Uh, yeah, it's like cherry Coke, but a little bit tastier. We'll be giving them out to all the drivers that attend today if you ask for it. There's free bottles up there, up on the top of the hauler.
Am I allowed to put Jack number 7 in it? Is that's a true question? Am I allowed to ask that question?
You can.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Even though Jack sucks.
So, before we move on to our next interviewee, we're gonna make this quick. We have our partner league, FGMH. They are doing the 4 Hours of Le Mans in a few weeks, I believe. You can check our partnerships channel. That is,
I will be there.
yeah. So do check out the 4 Hours of Le Mans that we'll be running. They'll also be doing a Garage 56 style race. We will be entering a Rods mod. We don't have a list of drivers. We might actually enter 2. So if you are interested in that, hit me up. Might do some driver swaps. Might try to do something like that. Get you guys some seat time.
Off the top of my head, I know Nico, Giram, myself, Robo, good couple of players will be there. So yeah, it's going to be a nice little party. We're going to be bringing out some very interesting vehicles, myself included. I've got a little something hidden in the works that I was learning about. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, well, that's good to hear. We're going to move on to our interviews of those that have remained. I think it's actually pretty much everyone that's remained. 4th place, we have Turbo Stuntman, and he had a couple of looks there at its 2nd podium at the Cheermine Grand Prix. Could have been the first 2-time podium sitter. Just fell a little bit short at the end, but you're right behind Dabcat. You could do chat interview, you could do voice interview, whichever you prefer. If you're reading, if you're going to type it, do it so in chat. But if you do want to speak, you can. You are unmuted. But that being said, interesting race today for you, Triple Stuntman. If you could bring me through what happened today. All right, we got Turbo Stuntman here. He is doing a chat interview. He has said, I got nothing much to say, just listening to the interviews. It was a very exciting race today. So many back and forths between me, Dab, and the leaders. I know that you are the only driver here that I believe has driven this track, or basically a variation of this layout, in its original form back in UD. What, in your opinion, is your thoughts about how this track has developed over the years? Turbo says he thinks it's a little bit easier with the older Rotsmod setups. That's interesting to see. I mean, I remember last year on the first lap, there's spins from pretty much every driver. I remember even your championship leader actually binned it off of turn 2. So, that's an interesting take. I guess that is also coming from the guy that managed to get 2nd place last time. So, that is a very valid take coming from Triple Stuntman, to be fair. So, that being said, I don't know if you have a lot to say. Is there anything else? That's all. Okay. Oh, well, thank you there for coming around for another time, Turbo. If we ever make this or do some Blender stuff and recreate this for Assetto Corsa, if you're interested in Assetto, we'll let you know. Unless we do road racing another year, then whenever you feel like racing. Thank you, Turbo. And we're gonna go now to the 5th place driver, and that was BG, I believe. this is BG. All right, BG. I didn't really get a lot of on-track action of you today. I don't know if there was a lot. It was kind of just, again, a race for points. But what happened in today's race, BG?
Not much. Leaders were battling it out. Track was split. Not much really. Just track was grouped up, got lapped, and it ended with Twin Turbo V6 winning in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, this, this track has been raced probably over half your lifetime. It's a very old track. 8 years. So.
I love that saying.
I mean, if you're under 16, you're under this track has been in
You're,
SLC over half your lifetime. So
yeah,
it's kind of
it's
that's just how kind of crazy it is.
sorry, we're showing our age.
Yeah, we're showing our age. We're unks. I am an unk.
Bro,
I am
oh my god,
22.
I hate that so much. Dude, the fact that I'm not even all that far behind you either, and even I'm considered old, it's just damn.
You're 18. You're fine.
Yeah, so.
I mean, this track has existed almost half your life too, but
Barely.
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 It's a couple years off, but yeah.
2 years off.
Yeah. Just gotta wait for. Let's see, when it becomes 17, that means 9. So in 2 years, this track will be half your lifetime.
Yeah, but
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, this track is the oldest layout that we use, and I think it worked out fantastic today. So, that being said, I kind of almost feel a little emotional because, if this could be the last time we ever race here, I hope not, but
Yeah.
it's been a spectacular track overall, and I know the race for you has been a little bit iffy, but I
Yeah,
gotta give you
it's a
credit
hard
for the top 5. So,
all right, thank you.
is there anything else you want to say before we move on to Steve Waters?
No, not much.
All right, thank you there,
get my
BG.
boy Steve in here.
Now, one thing to note, Steve, we got the Ricky Bobby car. I know this is a bit of an off race again, just kind of a sits place, but again, style points. Love that scheme. I think it's
If
one
you
of the
ain't
coolest schemes you've
first,
made.
you ain't. If you ain't first, you're last. That's all I'm saying.
There's no way your premium gas is $3.
Where the fuck do
Painless.
you live where premium gas is $3? In California?
Southeast. No, nope. I'm over at Southeastern Gas.
This it's North
Also,
Carolina.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, if you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. If you don't chew Big Red,
Where is your car? All right. Well, anyway, Steve, I don't remember if you were able to race last year.
I was not able to race last year.
So-
This was my first
What's your
cheer run over
impressions?
here.
What's your impressions coming to this track today?
If anything, it was it kind of more likely was kind of almost like the Chicago street course. I had good control of the car and kind of kept hitting walls. I don't know what to do with my hands at this point.
Hands are numb.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
You take them and you
If-
flail them
if you
around.
ain't first,
Being first or last, Steve Waters. After the Monroe Grand Prix. At the Cheerwine Grand Prix.
Oh man.
All right, Steve. I'm really trying to find your car to get a good look at it. And it was a little bit rushed today. I couldn't really find a good color blend for the roof, but still
Don't port over
awesome
me.
to see. Huh?
TP over me, or just TP over me. I think that should be better.
Hey, I
Thanks,
want to
Ian.
have some Wonder Bread so I can make some provolone pepperoni
Oh.
grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh,
Over to
wow,
Southeastern.
287 for fucking regular? What the hell?
Damn, 287. Not even I get that. That's some bullshit.
See, this SLC takes place in a better universe than ours. Okay.
Exactly.
Fuck.
298 for plus and 310 for premium.
Damn, bro. Okay, hold on. Time to show my age a little bit. Who remembers when fuel was like premium was like $3 at worst, and like regular was like $2 at like a high?
Dude, look at those prices.
Dude, like a dollar is like normal.
I lived in a
Back when I
time
was a
when
kid.
gas was like barely over $1 for regular.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real.
Good times. Good
Uh,
times. Miss those times. I wish
True-
I was able to drive
True
in those times.
tragedy. I wish I was too, because having a lead foot in a big V8 truck, it just sucks. Gotta go 15-hour ball crushing factory. That's what it feels like to drive a big Toyota behind someone's Camry.
Let's get a brief look
speaking
at your
Toyota.
car before we move on to Matt. Matt's got to give you credit for the patience. So love the flames. Flames are cool. I got the 7.
In my
We got the awesome
hat too to go.
the suit, bro. You come up
My
with
hat
drip
too.
every weekend, dude. I love your suit. That's an awesome suit.
This is what you call Seth freaking Rollins, the drip guy.
That reference is fucking insane, bro. I wish I could dap you up for that.
All right, well that's an awesome looking car, Steve. I don't know if you plan to make any more, or what your plan is for the future. You could run any car you want.
Shoot. If I'd put one
Well,
10 penny down, I'd be going Jimmy Johnson 7
well,
times.
the next race,
7 times.
we are racing next time at Mount Lawn next week. So
Hell yeah, baby!
yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Outlaw!
So we're doing our Indiana sweep. Then we'll also be doing.
Hey,
Illinois
if
race.
anything, this is from Michael Mooks, okay?
Fuck!
Jimmy Johnson is from Michael Mooks. He's gonna yell, Jimmy!
Alright. We're gonna get
Timmy.
to Matt's, and then we'll do our closing statements. So, thank you there, Steve. Again, love the cars as always. Best game maker in the series. Might have been a little bit of rush keying. That was kind of my fault, but from the side angle, I mean, this car is just awesome to see. We've never seen Ricky Bobby's scheme. So, up next in 7th place, our car that kind of just finished in the back. Again, Matt, thank you for your patience. You tend to be an oval ringer, so the road course is a bit of a new characteristic. What happened in today's race, Matt?
I really just took it slow, just try to make it for the corners. I don't care if I get really lapped. I was gonna get lapped eventually, so really just took the patience and let everyone by. Really, not a race that I'm begging for to win. Just race that I really thought was fun for me.
Well, we know that you are an oval guy, and we do have some oval races coming up, of course, before the apocalypse. And if it does come, I might have to just age verify your account. That's whatever.
Okay.
I'll probably do that for you if I can.
About to be at the apocalypse.
Yeah, we'll figure that
We're all
one out when it
screwed.
comes up. But coming up next weekend, we do Mount Lawn Speedway, I believe. I'm going to verify that with the schedule. That is one we'll ask Dap about briefly after this. We are doing some more oval races, Matt.
Yes,
So I know those are your characteristic. You looking forward to anything?
I can finally get a top 5.
That's good. I like that.
Top 5!
I remember when I was in your shoes, man, and honestly, cherish it. Cherish it for sure.
We also got Speedy XR1 up in the booth. Hi, Speedy. We're going to wrap up our...
Can't say anything. Can't say anything.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, Speedy?
I
Speedy
can't say
Gonzalez.
anything. I can't say nothing. I have some impulses to say.
I know what you're... I know. Anyways, we are going to wrap up this stream in a short bit, but of course, we're going to be talking about the emergency changes that we've made to the schedule. Again, a couple other leagues that we partner with, Formula OOF has been kind of in the same situation. We've been in that situation. And while we think we're going to try to keep running as long as we can, we're going to have to make some compromises just in case things go by not to plan. We originally were intending to run East Albany coming up in 2 weeks, but that is going to be moved up to May 29th. Hopefully we could get a race by then. Until the apocalypse, as we've described, we have 3 more races to do. So the one coming up next week, we are going out to Mount Lawn Speedway. So that is the tricky egg trialful thingamajigger. It was a small field last time, but hopefully we get a good field this running. This course is going to be 650 horsepower Rotsmod setup. The midgets will be on 350, and hopefully we'll have
Bring
a fun
back
show.
the micros. Bring back the micros. I'm riding right now. Bring back the micros, guys.
Bring back the micros.
Bring back the Fox body.
All right.
What he said. What he said.
Slate
So-
bottles.
Anyways, on April 31st? 30th?
I thought you were
April
gonna say April
30th.
1st.
We are going to be running the Crake Midgets at Mount Lawn Speedway this coming Thursday. And then on Friday, on May 1st, we are going to try out the Rots mods and give Mount Lawn another go. A legendary track makes its way back to swap schedules with East Albany, and we are going to be going and running this show at South Bend Motor Speedway. It has been 2 years since our last race back in 2024, and we are looking forward to running once again at the legendary microscopic short track with 8-9-second lap times. That is the smallest track on the schedule. Expect a 150 lap Rotsmod race there. Things are going to be very hectic, very long, a test of endurance. You're constantly turning. It is like being in a living room. So it's going to be a hell of a race coming up this May 8th. The last race before the Robots update that everyone has had anxiety over was originally planned to be the Indy Road course. We will try to develop it a little bit more if things are looking good. But that has been swapped for Blackhawk Farms. So that is the new track that Jake has been testing. And that'll be on the weekend just before the update. It'll be a road course with the Rots mods, another very tight and technical, but also fairly high-speed road course. It is a bit like a club track. So we'll be doing the Rots mods at Blackhawk Farms. It'll also be the only time that the midgets will ever do a road course race. It's an exhibition race. It'll be ran on most likely Thursday. So look forward to
Ironically,
that.
possibly the last too.
Could be. We're going to still keep on trying to run, though, of course, post-update on May 21st and 22nd. We are going to return to Plymouth Motor Speedway in Indiana. That is going to be, of course, hoping that we could try to figure out things by then. The race after that will be East Albany, and then the Indy Road course, and potentially, we are considering it. If we are looking good in June, we'll try out Winchester. And Yorkshire and Augusta might also make a return. So, some things could be interesting coming up this summer. We're not quite sure everything. That's of course if the season if it could somehow continue after this terrible fucking update. So look forward to that. Hopefully, stick around. If you guys are not in the age group, we'll try to figure out something to keep you guys racing. With that being said, see you guys next week at Mount Lawn. Hopefully, we get these last few races in. If this truly is the end of the championship, then we'll look for a set of course in the future. So we're not done racing, folks, if that comes to be. And we are back for some more for just hopefully at least a few more weekends of awesome action-packed racing. It might get emotional. So that being said, thank you guys for coming today. And that is going to wrap it up for today's race. If you guys want to do more talking, feel free to head to General. I'm going to close up the stream here in a moment.